I was like, I'm gonna get this gun and I'm gonna shoot somebody. So I got the gun and I was like, yo, I'm gonna use this thing. If I had beef with you, I'm clapping you. I'm clapping you 100%. And he's like, yo, the gun ain't go off. The gun ain't fucking go off. And he's clicking it, click, click, click. Gun not going off, gun not going off, gun not going off. But I already know who I am in the town. Like, yeah, I'm shooting you, bro, 1,000%. I'm shooting you today, right now. And I raise up the gun, pushes my cousin out the way, I just shoot him. Whole lot. Who's telling me that I'm not crazy? Because I'm not crazy, but nobody wakes up one day like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot my brother today. No, you don't normally do that. It just so happens that the most aggressive part of my story stops in a jail cell. Curtis Lambert, from Mount Vernon, New York. Neighboring town to the Bronx, so really close to Yonkers. If you know any rappers, you got the Locks, the Styles P's, Mary J. Blige. They from Yonkers. I'm from Mount Vernon, so neighboring town, really close to the Bronx. Father died when I was 3 years old. Still remember the funeral till this day. I was sitting on like one of my brother's laps, and I didn't even know what was going on at the moment, but I guess it was one of those days that I figured out, okay, like my dad is not coming back home anymore. Kicked out of every school, every elementary school, every middle school, every high school. My life was kind of like that from about kicked out of second grade. Like that was my first time getting suspended from school, jumping on lunch boxes, flushing coats, the little fun, mischievous things. I don't even think I was a bad kid. I think I just had a lot of developmental negligence. Like there wasn't somebody there to actually show me what love was or to care for me in a specific type of way. I think that came from just not having somebody that cared intentionally. That's why I always say developmental negligence. Like the things that normal people would do to develop, I didn't really have those things to develop. Not because my mom was a bad mom or anything like that. Nah, she was working. She worked 2 full-time jobs. So I was kind of getting abused by family a little bit. And in my mind, I think that's the safest way to say it. And I had got kicked out of West Orange High School, which is like a high school in Orlando. It's in Winter Garden specifically, but it's like Orlando specifically. And one of the kids in school, he was like a little ratchet, a white kid. He had he was a little redneck, but he could have got me a gun if I needed it. And I was like, yo, Chris, well, that was his name. Yo, you got any guns over there you trying to depart with? And he actually gave me a revolver. And since I was kind of getting abused at the time, I was like, I'm gonna get this gun and I'm gonna shoot somebody. And though that might be like a little bit far-fetched for people, but nobody really wakes up one day like, yeah, I'm just gonna shoot somebody. You have to do something to somebody for that to even be a thought in their mind. So I got the gun and I was like, yo, I'm gonna use this thing. And it just so happened when the police officer asked me like, yo, what'd you get that gun for? And I was like, oh, I wanted to shoot my brother. And it just so happens that 6 years later, 7 years later, 8 years later, 10 years later, I end up shooting a whole different brother with a whole different type of .32. But yeah, that's later on into the story. So I got the gun because I wanted to commit violence. I needed money. I was a young kid, 17 years old, with a little weight on me and a little anger. I got charged with a non-operable firearm because if I would have fired the gun, it would have blew up in my hand. So the firing pin didn't even work on the pistol. And the officer, which is God, because I got charged with a non-operable firearm. I didn't know that it wouldn't go off if I load this thing and bust it off, but the gun would have blew up in my hand. Like the chamber was warped or something had happened, but I think the firing pin, either the fire pin didn't work or the gun was like, something was with the gun. But the officer, I got less charges. I didn't even know how to spell unoperable. But they said that's what they charged me with, having a non-operable firearm that would not have shot if I would have pulled the trigger. So that was God too, I guess. My whole story has been God. To me, it's all been like just these little whispers of Jesus, like, yo, it's okay, I got you. Just keep holding on, I got you. Or I don't know, bro. Every story that I've tried to rewrite, he's found a way to just be my hedge of protection. So that was one of those things. I said I wanted to use the gun to shoot somebody. I ended up shooting somebody totally different with a different gun, same type of gun a few years later, which makes absolutely no sense. Got probation, sentenced back to New York. That's when I went to Institute of Audio Research. That took me about a year. still hustling, still heavy gang activity. Like we are shooting people, bro. we are shooting folks, just period. If I had beef with you, I'm clapping you. I'm clapping you 100%. So that was a good 17 to about 20, 21. One night I wake up and I'm cleaning guns, and I had 2 guns at this time. I had 2 32s to be specific, 2 revolvers. And I'm getting up and I'm cleaning the pistols at this time, and somebody calls me and he's like, yo, get the guns ready. Like these young is fronting. And I'm like, what does that even mean? I know exactly what that means. That means it's time to go to war. So I just woke up that night and I'm just cleaning the guns for no reason. It's like 12 at night. I would give my phone to somebody else in the nighttime, because when you hustling, your phone gonna be ringing all day. So I'll give my phone to one of my mans in the nighttime. Same guy who calls me. He calls me like, yo, these young is fronting. And I'm like, all right, I'm on the way. He's like, nah, I'm coming to get you. So to get in the car, everybody got a gun in the car. We get in the car, we go to a spot called Mount Vernon Avenue, which is in Mount Vernon, and really close to Yonkers. And I guess they met up there to shoot it out. And I'm like, he's like, nah, just stay in the car, just be the driver. I'm gonna get out, go put in my own work. So around you, everybody got guns in the car at this moment. Gets out the car, I see him walking down the street. And as he's walking down the street, I don't hear any shots. Me and my other homies in the car, we don't hear no shots. We just see a bunch of people running. So we were like, we ain't hear no gunshots, what happened? So we flying down the road, and I get down the street, I see everybody struggling over my guns. I get out the car, I snatch my gun back. And he's like, yo, the gun ain't go off. The gun ain't fucking go off. And I stick my hand out the window and I'm shooting, I'm letting off shots, and I'm like, what gun didn't go off? So we all screaming in the car like, yo, it's not your time. You trying to be a murderer, it's not your time, it's not your time. That was one scenario of the same gun that I used to shoot my brother about 3 months later. So the gun did not go off. This is the second time this happened in my life. This is a revolver. Anybody knows anything about revolvers? The revolver is gonna go off. It's gonna fire. Guns didn't go off. That was one time. Another time, this is like the third time this happened to me. I got a friend, he's boxing it out with somebody, he's destroying the guy like in a horrible way. And he's pouncing his face in, and he pulls out the gun, and he's standing over him, and he's clicking it, click, click, click. Gun not going off, gun not going off, gun not going off. So this happened about 3 times in like the span of 6 months. And I mean, he's standing over him, pulling the trigger, gun not going off, gun not going off. And this is different guns. This is different scenarios, different circumstances, different people, different beef. This is all different people. When that happened that night, when we was driving and letting the guns off and all of that stuff, I think that's when I really realized like God got something more for me. Even when I'm looking back on those stories, like the people who I've like hurt or to me I've destroyed them. To the people I've destroyed in a way, like it just hasn't been nice. Another scenario. Somebody had robbed one of my mans for a gun. He went to go purchase a firearm. And as they rob him, he's like, yo, you sure you want to do this? Like, you know you about to rob, right? He's like, yeah. And they smack him with the ratchet, like hit him in the back of the head with the gun. He's like, okay, I'm going to kill all y'all. We looking for this kid for about 6 months. We never find this kid. We end up jumping the wrong person. We end up beating the wrong person up, like destroying people, robbing the wrong person because we didn't know what he looked like. He was trying to explain the person to us for like 6 months. I'm walking one of my girlfriends home. This is all the span of, I want to say 8 months, 6 to 8 months. But walking home, I'm walking one of my girlfriends home at the time, and a kid comes out the store and he's like, yo, I got weed for sale. I'm like, yeah, I got weed too. What's up? And he like, yo, my name is da-da-da. And I'm like, that's him. I walk over, I pull out my knife, I'm walking across the street, and my homie stops me, he says, nah. If that's him, we gonna get his number and we gonna set him up. So we get his number, we call him like 11 o'clock that night. We just so happy, we was like, oh yeah, this is the kid right here. So we get, now mind you, he's running from us. We can't find this kid, like he didn't move somewhere else because he knows This is a little thing in the gang culture called like it's on sight. Like if I see you, bro, it ain't no fighting going on. Like we shooting this out, and if it's you or I'm coming out of this thing. We set him up. We call him like 11 o'clock that night. He shows up, four people in the car, and my homie, he driving like a black Elantra. It's all dark, all tinted to the little Hyundai. And we sitting in the car. We got guns on us. Car pulls up, and homie pulls out the gun and he's crouched down. And he's like, "Yeah, let me get like an ounce of weed." And he's like, "Yeah, I got an ounce right here." And he pulls out the gun and he starts tapping on the window. He's like, "Yeah, you robbed my man." And it's like the whole car just went like silent. We destroyed the kid, slamming his head in the car door. He went home butt naked, like just beat him down bad. Till this day, he still call me Pastor Cracks, which is like, they used to call me Kurt Cracks. He still call me Pastor Cracks because he know how I done gave my life to Jesus. So he called me Pastor Cracks, which is super funny. But those were a few situations that it could have just got like even more time, even more dirty if people wouldn't have cooperated, especially in a situation like that. If you a real gunman, like you got somebody standing over here with a gun and you got that guy tapping your pockets. That was one of those times, man, that we could have probably ended up with a nice little L on our back. And that's only a few. That's only 2 times. May of 2007, May 22nd, actually. May 22nd, 2007 was a very different day for me. Woke up that day. I was extremely mad about weeks prior, maybe about 1 week prior, because the Connect, he wasn't returning my phone calls. When I got out of jail and I was like, "Yo, why you wasn't returning my phone calls, bro? What happened?" He was like, "Yeah, you was just too hot. Like, I heard you out there, you shooting, you robbing, you selling drugs, like, you doing everything else that I don't need you to do." And he an old Jamaican drug dealer, so the last thing that a drug dealer who's higher up wants is more problems. I don't want no more heat, bro. So he stopped returning my phone calls, and I had to get work from somebody who I did not want to get work from. So I'm mad at the Connect not picking up my calls, but then I got to get a work from this guy. I don't want to get work from this guy. I don't even like this guy. So I was already mad about that. I ended up getting a pound of weed from the dude. I'm bagging it out. I'm furious for about a week. My brother, he knows I'm the only person in the house that hustles. And me and my brother, we were never great. But nobody has never came up to me and asked me, "How are you feeling that day? Are you okay?" Nobody has never asked me those questions. And I think at times when people do certain things, if we want true rehabilitation to happen, we probably should ask them some questions sometimes. So that day, there was an empty bag of weed in my foyer. When you walk in the crib, it was like this little foyer, whatever. Empty bag of weed in there, and my brother looks at me. He gets the bag of weed. I'm outside and I'm fixing the car. And he said, "Yo, what's this?" And I'm like, "It's an empty bag of weed. Throw shit in the garbage." And he pushes me. And I'm rolling a spliff, and I'm like, I really hope this guy don't drop my spliff right now, bro. Just being funny, but that's kind of what it was. So we outside, we fixing the car. He pushes me. I'm still rolling my blunt. He pushes me again, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna clap this guy today. In my mind, that was my first scenario for a lot of things. It was violence. It was, no, I'm gonna clap this guy. I'm gonna shoot you, bro. Brother or not, I'm gonna shoot you. He pushes me again. I never drop my spliff. I go inside, which is important. I never drop my spliff. I go inside, and in my basement, we have big boilers in New York. And in my basement, there's this big boiler, but underneath my floor is like a hole in the floor. So all of my guns and bullets and everything was like above my head, but in the floor. So I'm down there and I go to get the pistol and I go upstairs. He meets me at the top of the stairs and we start boxing it out. We start fighting. And I wanted to hurt him. I did. Of course, I didn't want to kill my brother, but I definitely wanted to hurt him. And we start tussling, we start fighting. I try to kind of push him down the stairs and bust his head open, all types of fun things. And, he hung on. My brother's like a little boxer in a way, so he can really fight. So we fighting, we tussling and all that stuff. We're breaking walls. We're really trying to hurt each other. We get outside, I pick up a big rock and I throw it at him. and I hit him in the legs. And remember, my brother is 40 scholarships in, never went to college. And he throws, for quarterback, he throws the rock back at me and he hits me in my arm. And till this day, it's still like a little gunshot. Like I got shot by like a little caliber. Right here, this little thing. This is 2007, May 22nd. When somebody threw a rock at me. It should have been a bullet. But he threw a rock at me and my whole arm is dripped down in blood. And I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely going to clap him today, 100%. Go inside. I had some Nike sweatpants on, some Nike shorts. And I go inside, I get the gun and I put it in my sweatpants. And I'm just pacing back and forth outside like, yeah, I'm definitely clapping him today. And my cousin was there. He pushes my cousin out the way. He's like, yo, Kurt got a gun. And I don't know if that didn't register to him, but I already know who I am in the town. Like, yeah, I'm shooting you, bro. 1,000%. I'm shooting you today, right now. He pushes my cousin out the way, and I raise up the gun. Like, we in the middle of the street, so we're about 20 feet away. And I raise up the gun, he pushes my cousin out the way, and I just shoot him, whole lot. And when you shoot somebody, usually if it goes in and out, you'll see blood first. But not if the bullet is in there and is banging up their body. And so the first thing I see when I shoot my brother is you see body fluid. Because when he turns to me, the bullet kind of went inside his body from the side, and the bullet is still lodged between his aorta artery and his spine until this day. So if a person is a nurse, he could have either died or he could have been paralyzed. The bullet is still in his chest till this day. That was May 22nd, 2007. He has a daughter born on May 22nd, 2004. I shot him May 22nd, 2007. He has another daughter born on May 22nd, like 2011 or something. So it's just wild, just ridiculousness. Nobody can write a story like this, bro. It's just ridiculous. They locked me up. Well, they didn't even lock me up. After I shoot my brother, I ran up the street, and somebody I ain't seen in like 4 years comes around the corner, and I'm like, yo, stop the car, stop the car. And I just get in the car, and I just start bawling out, crying like, yo, I told him stop fucking with me. I told him stop fucking with me. And these are the things that when you're thinking about these stories and nobody is ever asking an individual question, it's like, yo, how do I get through these things? Like, who do I talk to about this? Who's telling me that I'm not crazy? Because I'm not crazy, but nobody wakes up one day like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot my brother today. No, you don't. You don't normally do that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the guy comes around the corner, stops the car. He's like, yo, where you want to go? I was like, yo, take me to my homie crib. Take me to my homie crib. Like, I'm broke down. I'm crying. But in anger. Like, yo, damn, son. I told us to stop doing me, man. Take me to my homie crib. All you hear is mad police cars flying by me. And because I'm in somebody's backyard, I'm in my homie's backyard. But I was really close to where I shot my brother. And I shot him on a day that there was mad bodies in the city that week. Maybe like, it was probably like a Tuesday or a Thursday. But there was already like 4 bodies already for the week or something like that. So bodies are dropping in the city. They're having like an anti-violence meeting. And then they got, another attempt murder, Mount Vernon. Like, let's go. I hear all the police cars. My homie uncle opened the door. He's like, where's the gun? I was like, it's right here. He called my homie take the gun. I've never seen the gun again since that day. I called my other homies. He Muslim now. He's like, yeah, you know you can't stay here. I'm like, yeah, I know I can't stay here, but let me figure out what to do. So I called one of my other brothers, and I was like, yo, did Chris tell on me? He was like, and we Jamaican, so he's like, yo, Brethren, what you mean if him tell on you? Of course he told on you, like, you know, but he didn't tell on me in a way to snitch on me. He told on me in a way so that he was asking about it, like inquiring about me, like, yo, did Curtis kill himself? I've had tons of suicidal thoughts in my life. That's just something I've always struggled with. I think that war is between me and God. Like, I think he'll free me. I'm not 1,000% free, but it is something that I still have to, you know, wake up and die daily to. Like, the thought to not make it, the thought to quit, the thought to give up, those thoughts are still things that I have to wake up and die daily to. So that's cool. I'm cool with that. But I ended up turning myself in that night. Turned myself in, and that was probably my little jail journey. I turned myself in. I think I just didn't want to make it harder. Yeah, I think I just didn't want to make it harder. I mean, how would I have moved into town facing attempt murder? Where I'm gonna go? I was just kind of happy like the guy didn't die, to be honest. Because when I shot him, it's like, who's making it from that on a regular basis? Like, bullet is through his body, lodged in between his aorta artery and his spine. Like, if it would have just moved over either way, the guy would have died or been paralyzed. I wouldn't have been serving 2 years, bro. So, yeah. I got convicted on 4 statements. My mom told on me. My brother told on me. The neighbor across the street told on me, and my cousin told on me. So I got convicted on statements, no firearm, no guns. They did try to get the gun. They had, when they had warrants for the house, they came in, but they only had warrants for upstairs. If you remember, I had everything in the basement and the floor. So they just never had those warrants for upstairs. My room was still full of weed. I just had it like in shoes. So I guess they never had like a dog search my room or something like that. But bro, the story don't make no sense. I went to jail. My homie is fighting his murder case. And remember I told you that 2 of us were fighting, well, they was fighting a murder case. I was fighting an attempt murder case. And I got another homie who's in there. He's on his next gun charge. He's definitely going up top. My homie's in jail. The jail that we was in, you could look through the wall, you could look through the cell block, and you could look through the other side, and you could see like who's on the other block. So you can kind of talk through the door in a way where like you're like, yo, go to church. That's what he's telling me. He's like, yo, go to church. This is like July, so it's like a month after I've been in there. I'm on a Fed block in jail, people with high cases, like murderers, whatever. Most of those people on that block, they call cell indictments from the feds and all of that. So he talking to me through the gate. He like, yo, go to church. In church, in jail, usually, you're passing off drugs, you're chopping it up, you talking. You ain't really go for church all the time. Some people, and there are some people who actually, this is where they need to come cry at the altar. It wasn't that case for me that Sunday. A little old lady from Yonkers, from Jackson Street. She's like, you in the back, you talking too much, come sit in the front. And I go and I sit in the front. She talking to me now. I guess she chose me because I'm light skinned. I'm brown skinned. He's dark skinned. So she was like, nah, I'm not going to mess with him. And she comes, she sits me in the front, and, I'm going through the sermon or whatever, listening to her. She had all these pamphlets on the table. New to reading my word, and I don't even think I was reading. I took all the pamphlets. I just stuck them anywhere in my Bible. And I got back to my cell that night, lock in. It's time to lock in. And I opened up my Bible, and it's Psalms 107. And in Psalms 107, the Lord is saying how you prayed to him and he rescued you. He shattered iron locks and opened bronze gates, and you prayed to the Lord and he rescued you. You weren't eating, you were traveling on raging waters, and you prayed to the Lord and he rescued you. You did this, and you prayed to the Lord and he rescued you. You did this. And it just kept saying you prayed and he rescued you. You prayed and he rescued you. And that was the night that I probably gave my life to God. I don't want to say probably. That was the night I gave my life to God. Crying, snot running down my face, just very ugly, like ugly worship. Ugly worship? I was ugly that day. And that was the day I gave my life to God. So I was saved by the Holy Spirit in my cell by myself. And I did walk out a different guy. I was holding Bible study in jail every day. I was sentenced to the minor block in jail. So I was like the trustee on the minor block, which is another part of the jail. I had to do an anti-violence program for 6 months, which was the first time I shared about me getting molested. So imagine You've been molested all this time, 21 years of your life. First time you share you being molested is in prison? This don't work. But they had me in an anti-violence program, which taught me that I could walk away. I didn't hear that I can walk away until I was 22. I was like, oh, I ain't got to box it out with y'all no more. This is a lot easier. Why aren't more people doing this? You guys should all be walking away. It's so good. It's easy, I promise. That was the first time I learned that I could walk away. I don't have to respond to violence. I don't have to respond with my pause. I can walk away. They had something called Fade Your Hitman, which my hitman was like Kurt Crack. He was the guy that would shoot you down. But in that program, I truly learned how to like develop better. Yes, it was prison. Yes, it was jail. But there was no better time for a guy like me than to sit down in a can for 2 years and listen, read, all of that type of stuff. But yeah, before I was a trustee on the minor block, I tried to write the state of New York, and I tried to get conditional release. And conditional release is the state of New York releasing you early. I'm like, yeah, I might be eligible for this. For what? This violent crime you just committed? Absolutely not, bro. You're going to sit down in this can. And I wrote the state of New York trying to get conditional release, and they wrote me back, and I'll never forget these words. And I read it one time. They said, your actions were reckless and you endangered the life of your brother. You need to take this time to focus on positive life skills and self-discipline. I've read that one time. I've never forgot it since 2007. And I probably cried like a big kid in my cell because I was like, yo, God, why aren't you effing answering my prayers? And it was like, yeah, not this one, Kurt. I need you to sit down. That was good for me, though. Prison was good. Prison was good. Yeah, so after I'm on the minor block as a trustee, I actually ended up graduating the anti-violence program, and they let me pretty much take care of the minor block. 13 young men gave their life to Christ. Some were in there for murder. Some were in there because they can't stop beating people up. And the minor block is, in most jails, is just a little turned up. Most prisons, the minors are the most turned up. But 13 young guys, man, gave their life to Christ. And that's probably all I was there for. One of the little homies, his name was Tyrone Stone. He ended up getting murdered like 2 months after I got out of jail. And in my mind, I was like, they set him up for a half ounce of weed, $50. He had beat somebody up from the hood, and the kid put a half ounce of weed on his head, killed the guy for $50. I say that to say because I was so scared to go hang out with that demographic after I got out of jail. I'm like, yo, I ain't going back to prison, bro. That's not happening. And I say that as a hard reality. Like, our witnesses are gonna need us, like, after that season is up sometimes. And I wouldn't go hang out with the kid, and I probably would have saved his life if I wouldn't went and hung out with him or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, 13 young guys got saved. It was a beautiful time. One of them did get murdered. Maybe that was his opportunity to give his life to God. And yeah, I came home June 5th, 2009. I remember that morning I was in the shower and I'm like, yo, God, I feel like I'm leaving something behind. He's like, you are. Kurt Crack. I was like, yeah, that Negro could stay behind for sure. Got out, never looked back. There's no book I read besides the Bible. There's no curriculum I saw on Bible.com. It was just the Lord working on my heart, bro. Saying that you are extremely dark, And you need to find out how to not be that dark. And you're talking about 2 years in a prison cell that I read my Bible for about 4 to 5 hours a day. Like I would just get locked into that. I think the thing that freed me the most is that I was desperate to be good. Like just be a good person. Because I've hurt so many people. And I robbed so many delivery men in Mount Vernon that they had the police officers riding around with them. Like I robbed them to the point that I couldn't even use my phone no more. I would just have to follow them. I couldn't make no calls, no delivery people. They knew my phone number. They were coming for me. Like I had to just follow them. And then I guess once they caught on, like, yo, this person ain't even calling no more. He just, any delivery guy, he robbing them, he beating them up, he taking their money, taking their food. He don't care about nothing. It got to the point police is riding with the delivery guys. And I couldn't use my phone no more. I just had to, I'll see you pull off from a Pizza Hut or something, and it's over. It's my food, it's my money, and I'm beating you up. I was very dark, man. Like, the answer is Jesus. How did I change? I was locked in a cell with my Bible, bro. There's no other answer for that. So, his redemptive work still works. His redemptive power still works. The simple answer of Jesus is still good enough. I got nothing for you, bro. It's just God working on my heart. I didn't want to be that way no more. And I think the Lord understood that. Then I want nothing to do with the block. I wanted nothing to do with the hood. Nope. Because in my mind, it was like, yo, I just served 2 years and I ain't get no letters. Nobody wrote me. Nobody came to visit. Now, mind you, I'm the connect. Like, I'm not like Pablo Escobar, but bro, you can come to my house and get any amount of work, anything. So for 0 people to come and visit me, except one guy, one of my homies, Busy Bundles, that was kind of a wake up call to me. Like, yo, there's certain things in life that, nah, bro, there won't be a bunch of people holding your umbrella in the rain. This one's for you by yourself. So no, when I got out of jail, I stayed inside for like the first 2 weeks. Oh, Kurt home. For what? You don't need to know I'm home. Nah, I didn't want nothing to do with the block. I think that's what has kind of saved me or helped me, because in my heart, I never really wanted to go back to that lifestyle. And I usually think about things and use my brain. My wife says I got crazy discernment. So I'm normally thinking about things like, nah, bro, I did the can already. I did the block already. I did the hustling. Nah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go back to jail. I didn't want to go back to the block. And yeah, I just watched those people not change anything about their lives for 2 years. Nah, bro, I don't need that block. I'm good. Like, no cap, I was a shooter. Like, unless you want gun beef, then don't say nothing to me. Even if I was, and I was gang related, but even those guys, they understood, like, yo, nah, Kurt actually going to church now. Like, we're not going to do anything to him. Like, even if I was given some type of status, nah, nobody never bothered me. And I just think that's the grace of God, because when you gang related in certain states, nah, we gon', like, you gang related for life. No, never. I don't even think it was a conversation. But the guys knew me. Like, his mom went to the guy who, yeah, I could say this. If you had all gang related, you get jumped into the gang or you get brought home. That's what it's called. They're bringing you home. They're making you blood, or you're gonna become Crip or something like that. And the guy who brought me home, his mother went to the church I was going to, so he never really like said nothing, or nah. He always had mad love for me. Like, when I came home, I started Christian rapping a little bit. Like, I was rapping about Jesus. Like yeah, I can get on some tracks with you, but it was always a respect. It was never like I had to front and not be this guy no more. Like, yo, nah, listen, this is what I'm not doing, and that's kind of how I've been rocking ever since. But it's always been respect. Yeah, but I've always been looked at as a real angry person since a kid. I was always angry, bringing weapons to school, fighting it out, boxing it out. It just so happens that the most aggressive part of my story stops in a jail cell, and it's like, yo, you gotta look at how you doing this thing, bro. I don't think I would have ended up being murdered, but I think I would have ended up in the can for sure with a nice little L on my back. I went to same homie who was standing over the guy with the gun and like wasn't going off. That same little clan of people, we got like a real beef with them now because of my homie. And I almost caught one of the guys slipping, and I actually followed him home, like stood outside his crib to just gun him down. Never came back outside. That happened to me twice. And I went to go catch a body and never came back outside. So there's been certain things that the Lord is like, I've been tiptoed with a lot of that stuff. I'm not even sure what that type of darkness has done to me, to be honest, because I don't know. I'm still living. I'm still learning. I'm still in therapy. I'm still talking to God about it. But that has happened to me twice, that I could have caught two bodies and neither one of those guys came back outside. Or I'd never seen them again after that day. And one of the guys has been murdered. A kid shot him through a hoodie. Walked up to him and just shot him and kept it moving. So like, yeah, little things like that. I've been very foot on the line, man. Very, very foot on the line. I got caught up in a home invasion one time. Police chasing me for blocks. And I must have had like $2,000 in my pocket. And I just took the money out and I'm throwing it and I'm running just to make my pants lighter. Or whatever I had in my pockets, I'm just taking the money out. I'm just like, bro, I was a kid. I was 18. Climbed up 3 floors to go get that bag. Climbed up the balcony, like just craziness, bro. So, yeah, foot on the line a bunch of times. I definitely should have been in jail a little bit longer. Yes, I am saved under Jesus. My sanctification is daily, bro. It is waking up and dying daily. Like, constantly putting that guy down who will go get a gun on you. I wake up and I lay that guy down every single day, bro. Like anger, every single day. I'm not super free from that stuff at the moment, but he has given me the power to make decisions. So I've been making better decisions since 2009, bro. I ain't shot nobody. So my salvation is day to day. And I talk like that, being a person who knows that we live a practical life as Christians, but we're called to live this practical life very spiritual. All things work together for your good because you love God. Even the molestation, even the robberies, even the tying people up, it's all gonna circle back for your good. None of it makes sense on purpose. God never writes a sucky story. He hears every prayer. Every single one. And only you have to believe in you. If you can believe that you're a good person, then you will be a good person. If you believe that you're a free man, then you will be a free man or a free woman. God never writes a sucky story. When you're in prison, you feel like you ain't got nobody. Even when you got people. 1,000 people could be writing you. You still feel like you ain't got nobody. And I just want whoever's watching this to know that there is one person who will sit at every inmate's cell, bedside, corner in a yard. There's one person that will listen, and his name is Jesus. And if you got that, then you really got everything.